I got a hat the size of my dick. Welcome to Human Pasta.
That's a funny shaped dick.
That's a...
I didn't know what you were going to come out with.
You told me to open.
I did.
So I opened.
That was good.
Yeah,
that was good.
It's a big hat. That's why
it's a big round hat.
It's a big round hat.
It's a big cool hat.
I got it because it looks like an Indiana Jones hat and also Hopper's hat from Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah, Stranger Things.
That's why I wanted it. I've always wanted that kind of hat, so... welcome back to the Human Pasta Podcast, episode 4. I'm Derek Mola.
I am Murgler. Hello, my name's Quentin Bell.
And that was the end of the Human Pasta Podcast.
I'm sorry. I thought it was funny. I thought it was being real clever.
Oh, Quentin. Hopefully one day we'll have enough episodes out where people will make a compilation of every time Quentin makes up a new character, like a weird character, or does a weird voice or something.
I will never end this. I've been wanting to do this forever. And it's had many forms, many times.
What, the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we are doing right now. This is the only time anything's ever come out of it, though, where any content's ever been produced, is what I'm saying. So this is some good stuff. Mm-hmm. So perhaps one day we shall have that. But I'll be the one make the compilation, because nobody's listening to that.
Nobody. I think we got 8 views on our last one.
Oh, really?
Nice. 8 views.
How long has that been out? The podcast or the...
I meant on our last episode, it has 8 views. I don't know what in total our views are.
Good sir. We do 3 things here.
We have 8 views and we have 8 subscribers, so that means those 8 people watched it.
Oh. Well, whatever.
And our sketch has 30 views.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm asking. Does the podcast have 8 views?
It's varying. It varies.
I was going to say, the sketches are funny.
The sketch got 30 views, so that's something.
That is something. That's 30 people that said, hey, you know what?
Or someone watched it 30 times.
I hope that's the case.
I hope that someone loved it so much they watched it 30 times.
One rabid person just yes.
Give me more of this pasta.
They're slurping it up.
Yeah.
Good shit. We made another video. That's not out yet. But
we did. I just haven't had the time to edit, but I'll probably be editing it this weekend.
I should not put my foot on the table. The second episode, you can hear... I think it's me. You can hear my foot stomping the whole time because I think I had 3 cups of coffee right before we started.
You're a stomping boy.
I'm a stomping little guy. I get fiery when I got caffeine in me. There was something funny I was gonna do before this started. We might have to pause, but it doesn't matter. I wanted to say, this second video, I think it's pretty good.
Yes, I think this is pretty funny. We had a blast.
We had a good fun time doing it. I think it's good. I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, hopefully you guys like it. Let's just keep talking about how amazing we are. And great we are.
I literally, as I was saying it, I was like, this sounds awful. It's as the words are coming out of my mouth, I was like.
We also have massive dongs, and we're just the coolest guys ever. Anyway, Quentin.
What?
What's going on? I haven't actually seen Quentin since we made the sketch, and we haven't done how we usually do the podcast.
Derek's a busy guy.
I'm still in school, so it's busy. Yeah, we usually do the podcast. We've been kind of ahead of the podcast, but as you'll notice from the upload schedule, we missed a day for the podcast. I haven't actually casted with Quentin in a while. No. I've been really busy with midterms and stuff. So
no. I've just been living my hobbit hole. Hiding away from the sun. It's really dark out here. I'm actually kind of loving it. It's cloudy every day.
Yeah, it's been really cloudy.
It's been nice and gloomy. I'm a gloomy kind of guy. At the last place I worked at, they said I was a vampire because I think it was spring, and we were talking about our favorite times of day, and I was like, yeah, I'm a real night owl. I like this. Something about the night kind of gives me energy. I don't know. During the day, I'm really late, especially in the morning. I'm like, fuck this. Yeah. By the afternoon, I'm kind of all right. And then, but by evening, for some reason, I get this second all right, I'm awake now. And then they were talking about like, they're like, oh, I like a nice sunny day to do this and that. And I was like, I like when it's cloudy outside.
I like cloudy days too, but sometimes it does get to me after a while.
I was like that in Switzerland. When I lived in Switzerland, it was really cloudy there. In the wintertime, the sun like never comes out over there. Like after a certain month, like you just don't see the sun.
I get really bad seasonal depression, so I need some sunlight.
You need some blue light therapy.
Yeah, some sunlight after a while. My Haley did get me one of those like sunlight things.
Oh,
that,
okay.
It like mimics the sunlight, the sun rays.
A magical sun orb.
A magical sun lamp. Yeah.
They made a pocket universe that had a sun inside of it, and then encapsulated it inside of it.
It's like Spider-Man 2. The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
Ooh, that's true. Wait, which one is that
that's
one?
Doc Ock.
That's what okay.
That's Doc Ock. Yeah, he's got
I forget what Green Goblin. I'm like, dude. I'm like, wait, what was the first one about then? I don't know why. I haven't actually sat down and watched any of those movies.
Oh my god, we should watch them because I've been wanting to watch them for a while too. Okay. We should absolutely watch them.
Let's do it. Let's do a big marathon. We should actually like cast that or something, almost like a Mystery Science Theater style, like
or like have you ever seen Pretty Much It?
No.
They're no. They're these
that was supposed to sound like a really like no.
No.
Like I'm really impressed. Like,
no. What? They're these shout out to Pretty Much It. They're two or three guys I think, and they have like full commentaries of the movies or shows that they watch that you can like buy, but they'll post like they did like the Raimi trilogy, and it's like it'll be like I don't know 40 minutes long, and it's just like the best bits.
Right, yeah,
like best bits from each movie. But they're really funny dudes. They did like the Final Destination, all the Final Destination movies. They did
like us.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, we're also super funny guys. They did like the Final Destination movies. They did like the Raimi trilogy. They did. I was introduced to them because someone showed me. They did. What the hell's that show? 13 Reasons Why.
Oh,
and it was really funny.
That stuff.
So we could do that. Yeah, maybe that would be really fun. I love the Raimi movies. Let's talk about that because I love.
Talked about that last time.
No, Spider-Man. Well, I love. Oh, we did talk about that last time, but I want to talk about the Spider-Man movies because I'm a huge. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I love Spider-Man.
Get into some Spider-Man. I'm gonna be back in like half a second.
Okay.
Open with some Spider-Man. I can hear you.
Okay. So I love Spider-Man so much. It's my favorite superhero. And for a while, I was having a hard time deciding what Spider-Man movie series is my favorite. For a while, he's back. What'd you get?
Nothing.
Oh.
It's for later.
I really like for a while, I thought it was like Tom Holland. And I still love Tom Holland.
Your favorite?
I really do. I thought he was like I thought movie-wise, I was like, oh yeah, it's my favorite. Fuck Tobey Maguire, fuck Andrew Garfield, whatever.
No, Tobey Maguire.
But then I started rewatching them again, and I was like, oh, you know what? I do love these movies a lot. Like, and they are what got me into Spider-Man. After I saw that movie, that's when I got into Spider-Man. As most people, did for the 2000s. Like, that was kind of what made people love Spider-Man so much. And it was super nostalgic to watch them again. It felt like so good. I love Sam Raimi as a director, so I was like, and after watching Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2,
oh yeah,
I was like, after I watched Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, and then rewatching the Spider-Man trilogy, I was like, oh, I get it now. Like I get why this movie is this way. I get why it's cheesy. I get why sometimes it's corny. Like watching his movies.
Now I really need to rewatch them.
Like watching his movies helped me understand why it was made this way, and also just understanding the context of superhero films at the time. So, but I was still having a hard time. But I think now I've just decided on like the Raimi movies because they are just so well made films, and Sam Raimi is just a genius. And I mean those movies have an amazing soundtrack, and Spider-Man 2 especially is like. Just the old, like the mess, like just the whole theme of it is just so Spider-Man, and
Very Spider-Man.
It's very Spider-Man. And the trilogy, I mean, say what you will about the third one, it's still entertaining, and it's still finishes the arc of that Peter Parker.
I like the guy that becomes Venom. He looks real funny.
Topher Grace. He came to, when I was at SCAD, he came to SCAD.
Oh, really?
And he was super nice and super funny. Like
I'm sure he was.
On the screen, it said his name, and he like walked out and was like pointing at the screen and pointing at himself. Like, he was super funny. And he, like, someone,
guys.
he brought up Spider-Man 3. I forget, like, someone had maybe asked about Spider-Man 3, and he was like, we all know Spider-Man 3, which is obviously the best Spider-Man movie ever made. So he was super, like, chill about it. He was super awesome.
I like that.
But, like...
I hate when actors are bitter about stuff like that. Like, I like that he kind of, like, owned it.
I don't think it ruined his career. Like...
No, but
nobody was really thinking about Topher Grace. Yeah. Nobody was really thinking about Topher Grace.
That's true.
I mean, that 70s
nothing
show.
Against the fellow.
Yeah, nothing against Topher Grace, but like, I think he's a good actor. He's funny. But like, I love Tom Holland though, because he's so great. And like, people quote the Raimi movies all the time. I quote like, and there's so many great quotes from the Tobey movies, but I also quote like those movies too, the Tom Holland ones. There's so many great, especially in Homecoming, there's so many great lines, and in Civil War. Far From Home, not so much. I don't know. I think for now, I'm going to say the Raimi movies are number one.
Number one!
I've changed my mind. I think they're number one.
Right. This sounds like a really like existential dilemma for
this
you.
This isn't really existential dilemma because I love the character
like,
so much.
This is beautiful to watch you like work through this.
Yeah, especially like now, and like we talked about this like before, like with the cinematic universe.
Marvel.
It's becoming overwhelming now.
The marvelous world.
It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to just go back to the Raimi movies.
It is overwhelming.
It's very overwhelming, and it
stresses me out.
It's nice to go back to the Raimi movies where it's like it's just simple. Like there's no
just Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's
being
just
a fucking loser.
It's just Spider-Man. Yeah, he's just being a fucking nerd.
Can I say this about all of this?
Yeah. We're going to change the subject.
No, we're going to change the subject because...
we talked about this last time.
Listen, Spider-Man is for fucking nerds, and I am not a nerd, okay? Okay? I just want to let you guys know I'm an alpha,
I don't play Dungeons & Dragons. Call back!
I'm literally going to go do that next Friday.
That's awesome.
I'm really looking forward to it. That's something I want to touch upon later, because I brought it up a while ago. But listen, Sam Raimi movies, big fan. I haven't seen them in a while just because I haven't seen them in a while. Yeah. Nothing against them. I
haven't seen them in a while either. The last Raimi movies. I do have a cowboy. I have a Raimi's Western movie on DVD, which I haven't watched yet. I think it's called The Quick and the Dead.
Okay.
And I haven't watched it yet, but like it's Leonardo DiCaprio, Russell Brand, and it's a lead female actress. I can't remember what her name is, but I think it's Russell Crowe. I might be wrong, but I know it's like young Leonardo DiCaprio.
Wait, Crowe or Brand? Also, excuse me.
I think it's Russell Crowe.
Okay, because I thought you said Brand at first. I was like, huh?
Russell Brand. No, I think it's Russell Brand. Oh my god!
What the fuck is he doing there?
Hello.
That's why I got excited. I was like, that sounds goofy. Or I want to see him being serious. That'd be fun.
Russell Brand's so fucking weird, dude.
I kind of love/hate him.
Oh my god. Anyway. Yeah, so we could watch that too. We could have like a Raimi-thon.
Raimi Rampage.
Raimi Rampage. Great. Yeah, Raimi Rampage.
A rainy Raimi Rampage day. No, I just wanted to say this. What was something Garfield? James Garfield? What the fuck is his name?
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield. I always forget his fucking name for some reason.
Andrew Garfield is great. He's a great actor.
I liked him in Dr. Parnassus's Dream Machine or whatever the hell it was called. Dreamatorium. Have you seen that?
No, I want to because I know that's like Heath Ledger's last movie too.
It's wacky. I liked it.
It looks good. Like a
lot of people fucking hate it.
I wanted to watch it. It looked interesting.
It's weird. It was hard to like understand. I also love they used Johnny Depp and
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, but there's a third guy I think that they use as well. I swear to God, there's a third guy because that character changes actors constantly, and it's really jarring. It's really jarring, but I really like it because like they go into like different like worlds, like state, like I guess like planes of existence, and they're doing like different things. Like depending on what they're doing, like it's one of those actors as the main. He's not even necessarily the main character. but he's a dude they run into frequently, and they do things with him. And it's just a wacky movie. But I'm getting off track. This is what I was gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Garfield Spider-Man is not fun. He like I've just I've heard this a million times, and I totally agree. He's not like. There's different like iterations of Spider-Man. There's adult versions of Spider-Man that I really like, where he's like this incredibly like super genius, guy who's also a superhero.
Kind of like Toby.
Yeah.
Kind of like Toby.
Yeah, well,
especially in Spider-Man 2.
He's also fucking wacky. Like there are a lot of issues of Spider-Man where like weird, like almost they're just like really, really, really out there. I don't know. I haven't read them obviously, but like I've just heard of like just weird iterations of Spider-Man that are like really funny and bizarre that are not just like Toby.
Spider-Ham.
No, but I'm also talking about Spider-Man himself. Like fuck, I can't even remember. But I know he gets to space at one point. And
I mean, that's how he gets the symbiote.
That's how he gets the symbiote.
Because he goes to Secret Wars. Spider-Man has done a lot of things. He killed Mary Jane with his semen.
There you go.
He gave her cancer over many years because of his semen.
I'll have to go back and actually like figure out the Spider-Man I'm talking about. But I know that there are some really kooky versions of like Spider-Man doing stuff. So Spider-Man is like a weird character. As a kid though, he's a fucking nerd. And Andrew Garfield is not. He's very handsome. He dresses very well. He skateboards. Tobey Maguire is like a pudgy loser.
Yeah.
He has a shitty haircut. He dresses like an idiot.
He has a nerdy haircut. He's got like nerdy clothes. He's got like glasses. Like I was reading the 60s comics for a while. And reading the 60s comics, you kind of forget sometimes that he's a high school student because he looks like an adult. Yeah. Like he just dresses like an adult. He has like a face like an adult, a haircut like an adult. So like I'm reading it and I forget like it's not until he actually goes like it's not until I'm reading a panel where he's at high school where I'm like, oh fuck, that's right, he's a high school student. So like I kind of appreciate Toby's version more because I'm like, well, Sam Raimi grew up reading the 60s comics, right. And Toby looks like 60s Spider-Man. Right. He looks like this like weird adult kid who is like he's like a super nerd. Like in Spider-Man in the 60s comics, he really is like he's a fucking nerd. He's a fucking nerd. But the only difference between Toby's Spider-Man and the 60s Spider-Man is that the 60s Spider-Man, as the comics went on, he became a lot more like he got more of an attitude. He was like sticking up for himself more. He was actually like when like Flash would diss him, he would like actually make a diss back.
Spit one back.
And people would be like, oh shit.
Yeah, because he's getting into it now.
Yeah.
Dude, this is what I'm going to say.
And I don't think Toby's Spider-Man ever really did that. But it still, that's not really...
Psychoanalysis of the superhero. Look at Watchmen for a second. They're nutso. If you're a superhero, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You're crazy. Like that's you're a crazy person. So I really like the idea of superheroes being fucking weird and wacky. And so like Spider-Man, dude, picture this. You're incredibly intelligent and suddenly you can shoot webs and climb on walls and you decide to fight crime. You have to be a wacko to do that.
And it's because your uncle like died in front of you and it's your fault.
You're wearing a fucking skin tight suit that makes you look red and blue like a with
not even like a spider.
Not even like a spider, but it has a spider on it, and like you're swinging around fighting. Yeah, all I would be doing is cracking jokes because I've clearly lost my mind at that point. Yeah, and the people a guy dressed up. A guy like in a like metal rhino suit is attacking.
Who's even crazier than you?
Yeah, you're like, all right. Obviously, I'm in an alternate reality. Time to like throw.
But that's what makes Spider-Man so great. Is that he's the most.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what made Spider-Man like stand out so much. Is that he's the most like relatable superhero. Yeah. Where it's not like he's not like he's not like he's Bruce Wayne. Where he's like he's literally insane and like goes out. It's like he's like a normal dude who like has a job and goes to school and. He's trying to be a scientist but also at the same time he has to like be a superhero because he understands he has this power and he understands like if I don't use it it's like gonna hurt people the way that it hurt me.
To be perfectly honest, I prefer rather than how about this? I want to see a Spider-Man where he's doing it just for fun.
Just doing it just for fun.
Like he's just like it starts out as like I need to do this for this, but like I want to see like an adult Spider-Man, like a 30-year-old Spider-Man who's like his mind is so warped by being a superhero. Not that he's like dangerously insane, but he's just like a total kook. And he's just like swinging around.
Like you were saying, there's other version of Spider-Man. I mean, there's like they've done what if stories. There was a version of Spider-Man where it was like what if Aunt May died instead of Uncle Ben, and it was like he like totally went insane and like became like a villain. He became
see, I don't want to see him go crazy.
But there's also a version of Spider-Man. There was a version of Spider-Man in the 90s cartoon. He where Uncle Ben didn't die. And he saved him. Either he saved him or he didn't die. And Spider-Man got the powers anyway. I mean, Uncle Ben didn't cause him to get the powers, but in this universe he got the powers, and Uncle Ben didn't die, and he became like a Tony Stark like person. Like he had the superpowers and he was a superhero, but like he had like $1 billion like tech company and was making inventions, and it was all because like Uncle Ben hadn't died. So maybe there wasn't as much of a pressure to like go out and be like the superhero the way he puts pressure on himself. See, with his uncle dead.
That's what I'm saying, right?
So it's like super interesting.
I would love to see him, put the pressure on himself and then just like just slide so much into the Spider-Man persona of just like wisecracking, crime-fighting dude that he like almost forgets who Peter Parker is, and it just becomes this like crazy genius just swinging around, beating guys up, and like it's like a huge joke to him, and then like. Maybe like some point in the movie snaps to reality like, oh fuck, where are the last like 20 years of my life gone?
Yeah.
Like, I've just been like, but anyway.
I mean, what you're saying, like, I mean, that's kind of the struggle that he goes through is like, I mean, that's what Spider-Man 2 is all about. It's like
basically I want to see Spider-Man comedy. That's strictly comedy.
Just a strictly comedy. Well,
but
it's called Spider-Man 3.
No, but not like
I'm sorry, Sam Raimi. You're probably never going to listen to this, but I love all of your movies.
I'm avoiding saying this because people will take this the wrong way, and you might even take this the wrong way. But like, not Deadpool's comedy, but almost that type of like self-awareness where he's like, look at me, I'm a dude shooting webs, swinging around, fighting these guys in spandex.
Like, have you seen Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah,
it's basically.
Yeah, okay, so then I want more of that.
It's basically they're making a sequel, so
well, good.
They're going to make a part 2. So.
Closing thoughts on the Spider-Man.
Yeah, because I don't want to talk about Spider-Man.
No, I know we've already talked about it for like 20 minutes, but I think Tobey Maguire is probably my favorite Spider-Man. Tom Holland is right there because I think it makes sense for Spider-Man to get like a tightened up body. Also, he's so small and he's like a ballerina dude. Like. I think that's perfect. Yeah, or gymnastics. Like, I think that's perfect. Spider-Man is just like this tiny, lean little guy swinging around. Like,
I understand people are mad at the changes that like the MCU has done, and it's mostly just because of just with rights between Sony and Disney. Like, because Sony owns all the movie rights, like the rights to use him in the movie. So like, they can't really use Mary Jane or Harry Osborn, to my knowledge, and that's why they did like Michelle instead of Mary Jane, and why they have Ned instead of Harry Osborn.
I see.
So that I think it's just legal rights and stuff, and I mean that's why they're not. I don't think they can use any of the previous villains that they've used in the past. That's why we haven't seen like Green Goblin or Doc Ock or
my faves,
Sandman.
I liked that Vulture guy though. I thought he was.
I love Vulture. Vulture's one of the best villains, and so is Mysterio.
He was already in Birdman though.
I know, he was Birdman twice.
I loved that.
Yeah, Birdman's great. Yeah, but like even with the changes, and people, the biggest one being Uncle Ben's not in it.
Yeah.
But I understand that too, because if they did it a second time, if they did it a third time, people would be mad. But people are mad anyway. This is
what I'm saying. Like, let's just jump into his life way later, where like he's an adjusted adult Spider-Man.
It probably would have been better if it was just like. He's been Spider-Man this whole time, and he hasn't been involved in any of this like MCU stuff. And he just kind of gets like, and it's Toby. It's Toby, right? Like it's just like he's not involved with this MCU stuff. He's just been like helping out with Queens and stuff. He
has no.
Yeah, he has no fucking idea. They don't know who he is. They just found out about him now.
That's what I mean. mean?
Yeah.
Just
so then they don't have to set anything up. They don't. So like we just know it's like Toby.
Just this out of touch, and he's like totally lost it. He's just like, what? Iron Man finds him like, wait, how have we not found? He's just like, who the fuck are you guys? Like, wait a minute, what? I thought only New York had this. But I was like, no, the whole unit. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. That'd be so great.
Oh my god.
I would love that. I kind of wish that was it.
That'd be so good.
But
I'd love to see him pal around with us.
Yeah, but for what the changes are, I still love Tom Holland because he's so charismatic. He's so funny.
He's great.
He plays really well with the other Avengers. I love Homecoming. I think it has so many great quotable lines. I like the whole theme in Homecoming, which is like he's like a kid. He reminds me of me like going into the film industry where it's like he's like this young person.
He's a greenhorn.
Yeah, he's like this young person going into this industry where there are like tons of people who are, way better than him and way up above him. And he kind of has to learn. And he like the whole movie he's trying to be like Iron Man. He's trying to be like somebody else.
He's trying to emulate them.
When he just needs to be himself. And that's what he learns by the end. And I love that whole thing. And they explore that more in Far From Home. And now that Tony's gone, and now that he's back in the MCU now, like they finally got him back in there. Now they can keep going. And now we have the whole Mysterio things.
Oh, fuck, dude. I have always wanted to see a Mysterio movie.
Wait, have you not seen Far From Home?
No, I told you this last time. I haven't actually seen it.
Well, Mysterio, he's the villain.
Fuck yes.
You didn't even know?
No, dude.
What?
I'm so out of touch.
What?
I feel like I must have said this last time, dude. I don't know shit about shit.
I we gotta watch it. He's the main villain.
I don't pay attention to a lot of that stuff because of what I mentioned with Star Wars. I'm like, it's overwhelming for me. Yeah, because I'm like, I'm probably gonna miss
he's
something.
The main villain. He's like one of the best villains, and he has an amazing
Dude, why did no one fucking tell me?
Amazing CGI like sequence. How did I not illusions? Oh my god! We have to watch that. Then we're gonna have like a Spider-Man marathon.
He's like my favorite villain, even though we also have the same name.
Yes, that's right. It's Quentin Beck. Yeah, Quentin. Oh my god, it's so close. Quentin Bell, Quentin Beck. Oh my god, it's so close.
I know. We also
he's also in the movies. He's a VFX. He's like illusion VFX artist. Yeah,
that's why I love him.
That's awesome.
And I love that's like his shtick.
Yeah, dude. He's Jake Gyllenhaal plays him.
I also love his costume.
He's great. Yeah, you didn't even know it's Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yes.
This is amazing on the Human Pasta Podcast. Oh my god.
This is the best day ever.
Dude, yeah, it's Jake Gyllenhaal.
He's such a nutbar. I love him.
Oh my god, yeah. We're gonna have to have like a Spider-Man marathon. He's like amazing in this movie. He's so great. Yeah.
Have you seen Nightcrawler?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Love Nightcrawler. It's like that. He's almost like that level of crazy with Nightcrawler. He was
such a
it's like a watered down Nightcrawler, like his character.
Good.
Oh my god. Dude. I almost spoiled the ending for you.
Whatever.
Jesus. No, we're gonna watch it. Oh my god.
Movie slipped right under my radar. Like I only heard people talk about it like after it came out. I don't know how.
So we have to watch
because I saw everything about Homecoming constantly.
Yeah. So we have to watch because they there's a theatrical version and then they re-released the director's cut, which cut a bunch of stuff.
Oh, right, you were telling me about that.
Yeah, they cut a bunch of stuff, and I didn't see that version in the theaters. I've seen a couple of the deleted scenes. Yeah. Anyway,
not to cut you off, but we talked.
Closing thoughts: Spider-Man is amazing, and
we both love Spider-Man.
That's really it. We'll change to something else now. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. We can hear you guys whining.
No, everybody loves this. Whatever. I was gonna say, because the next topic was gonna be, I guess we can just skip movies and go to TV shows. Because I was gonna say TV shows, then movies, then games. But I don't know if we've been watching any cool TV. I didn't have any sweet. Oh wait, yeah, I did. I did for games. I always have something for games. I don't have a lot for TV. I haven't watched anything cool.
I haven't watched any.
I mean, you're really busy with school and stuff.
I haven't watched any TV. The only thing I watched, if we're going to keep going with movies, is that I'm trying to write a treasure hunter script. And I rewatched Indiana Jones, even though mine's probably transitioning from less being like an action treasure hunter movie and more like a low scale one.
Okay.
But I rewatched Indiana Jones.
I kind of like that more.
Yeah. Well, I was going to make it, I'm changing it now to sort of, I want it to be like a local treasure hunter, but he's like one of those dudes that just has like the metal detector.
God, yes.
And like there's a big like it's a fake town in Massachusetts, and he like finds this treasure from like the owner of the town,
dude.
like something like that. And like he like, but there's also this like big scale treasure hunter that's also trying to get it.
Yeah, because
so, like,
secretly it's actually a huge deal.
Yeah.
Okay,
so something like that. But
I love shit like that.
the big movie that I watched,
almost like the Goonies in a way.
Kind of. That's what I want. It's like something kind of low scale like the Goonies. But the Goonies has like all these props. I love the Goonies, dude. But I
fucking love the Goonies.
But I want it to be like a young person like us, not super young, but
no,
like,
not a kid. But
maybe in like their mid-20s.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, just like a dude.
Yeah,
doing
like,
his thing,
like a dude,
or a cool gal.
But the big movie that I watched that was kind of like resparked everything was E.T. I rewatched E.T.
Oh my god, I haven't seen E.T.
Yeah, I haven't seen E.T. since because when I watched it, they had the 20th anniversary DVD release because the movie came out in '82.
I saw that shit on VHS.
Yeah,
once when I was really little.
Yeah, I was born '97, and I was 5 years old in 2002, and they released the 20th anniversary edition. And that movie, I hadn't seen E.T. for that long. I hadn't seen E.T. since and I rewatched E.T. like so many times when I was a kid. Like I rewatched that movie over and over and over and over and over again. Like it was a movie that I think really had an impact on me. Like
what?
as a kid, like I think it was.
I love that because I saw it once and then never again.
It's a really, I don't know.
And I think we owned it too.
I rewatched it, like the other day, and it.
I'm not shitting at you.
No. I know.
I thought that was really funny.
I rewatched it recently, and oh my god, it just totally resparked that movie magic. Like I don't know, it's just such it's such a I'm watching it, and I'm like, this movie should be really stupid. Like I'm watching it and I'm like, this should be like a really dumb science fiction B movie, like an 80s science fiction B movie. Like it's about a kid becoming friends with an alien and it a weird alien puppet. Like I'm like, this movie should be really stupid.
It's awesome.
But this movie is awesome. This movie is so magical and so funny and heartwarming and it's all because of Steven Spielberg and because of the John Williams score. I mean that just the scene that always gets me is the chase scene. Like when
fuck yeah,
that scene is always.
I vaguely remember
that scene. Like it makes me. It's an action scene, but it makes me tear up just because the music is amazing,
so real and cool.
The directing is great. When they fly up in the air, and then that leads into the ending scene, which is also a tearjerker for me.
Real tears.
Yeah, it was just really magical, and it was I remember being young and watching that movie and it having a real effect on me, being wow, this is amazing. This movie is Spielberg always, that's what I love about Spielberg is I think he just understands the magic of movies. He just understands what movies can make you feel and that sort of childhood magic, especially his earlier films with E.T. or Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park, the magic of movies. Movies can give you this experience that you would never be able to have. You'd never be able to go on an adventure with Indiana Jones. You'd never be able to go hang out with an alien. You'd never be able to
for the ride.
Yeah, you'd never be able to go see a park of dinosaurs. But he just knows how to make it work. He just understands that this is this could be a magical moment for people to experience. And he just knows how to craft it to make it such an experience.
Got a real Spielberg fan over here.
I like I honestly haven't watched a shit ton of his movies. I have never seen Private Ryan or Schindler's List, which is everybody's gonna fucking yell at me now. I've never seen those fucking movies. And I know those are his masterpiece movies.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting after watching E.T., I've been wanting to I thought I should probably watch go through his filmography and
into the Spielverse.
Into the Spielverse. But yeah, that was a big one that was the big movie that I watched was E.T. And I'm sure everybody's fucking seen it, but if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's a fabulous movie.
Well, you mentioned Stranger Things earlier.
Yeah.
This is totally off topic from movies.
Yeah. Now we can go to TV shows, I guess.
Well, they made a fucking video game for the 3rd season or whatever, or the 4th season.
Wait, what's the game?
It's top down, like isometric top down RPG.
Oh, like a 8-bit? Is it like is it 8-bit? Yeah.
It looks sort of 8-bit. It's really, I see it on
I haven't heard of this.
the
I
Nexus
know
all the time.
there was supposed to be, Telltale.
I think it's silly. Uh-huh.
Telltale games?
Yeah, I know Telltale games.
They were supposed to make a Stranger Things game before they shut down. Actually, well, aren't they getting
This looks almost Earthbound-esque, but a totally different graphic style.
Isn't Telltale coming back though?
What do you mean?
Well, because they got shut down.
Telltale?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, game companies are fucking weird.
They shut down.
They're always going up and down.
Oh yeah, I turned my phone off.
Don't worry about it.
Well, they shut down.
Who cares?
A while ago, and everybody got like fired. And then, but it was really sweet because like all the gaming people like were like, hey, anybody who works at Telltale, let me know. I'll like hire you, or we'll interview you or something like that. Like, because they know like how talented those people are. But anyway,
no, I haven't watched any TV shows. I haven't seen any good movies lately. I've just been working on puffs. That's why we didn't film a thing today. Partially is because my living room is like a mess with costumes.
I had some crap I had to do earlier today because I had school earlier today. And
this one goes to school. I just work and look for other jobs. And when I'm not doing that, I'm playing Swideo games.
Swideo games, yeah,
dude. I
want to get the Ghostbusters PS4 remastered.
Right. I heard of that.
Dude, I love that game. I play because I used to play the original.
The one for what was it for originally?
It was for like PS3, Xbox. Okay. It's amazing. It's essentially the 3rd Ghostbusters movie.
Oh, okay.
Because it was written by Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis.
Fucking wacko.
And it's like has all the original cast in it.
Radical.
The story is very simple. It's just like Gozer comes back.
That fucker.
The from the first movie, he just comes back. But fucking it's Gozer. Like it's basically the 3rd movie. I mean, you get to go to like the New York Public Library.
Yeah, you're not just replaying a movie.
No, you get to like you get to fight Stay Puft. You get to fight the ghost librarian. You get to go to like. And you're just playing as like this kind of like blank slate.
Oh, nice character.
I
love that.
You're not playing so like you're get
like
to
the new hire.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. Like yes. You're like the newbie. You don't like have a voice actor. You're just like this like bland looking dude. Like yeah,
because you can put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly. I'm Ghostbusters.
That's what they want you to do. Yeah, they don't. You just kind of like shrug. You don't say anything.
Nice.
Like because they have cutscenes.
I love shit like that.
Yeah, it's really great.
They do that in Destiny 2, which I like.
You can you're just in the world with these characters.
You're just a dude living it.
Yeah. And it's the controls are great, like Slimer, and you have to throw out, you have to like shoot the enemies and like throw out a trap and like it's nice. Sucked in, like it's so cool, and I want to get the PS4.
I was gonna say remastered. On PS4, it's gonna be fucking killer.
It's gonna be fucking awesome on the PS4. Oh my god, maybe we'll play it on Impossible.
I'm getting really close to the mic.
Because I wanted to play after we finished Shadow of the Colossus. I wanted to play Uncharted.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to play Uncharted, but we might just have to play Ghostbusters because I would love.
We could bust some ghosts.
Fucking love to play Ghostbusters.
Dude, I'd like to bust a ghost or two.
Bust a nut.
Hey, right now, that's ghosty nut.
This is ghosty nut.
Gross.
It's gonna just phase right through you as I spurt it out.
Like phase pigeons.
Yeah.
I think there's only 5 people on the planet that would get that.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Something my brother made up at work once. No, dude, I've been playing a lot of games. I played Kenshi again. I also played Kingdom Come Deliverance again. And
I'm not gonna make that joke again.
Yeah, don't, because it's fucking dumb.
It's fucking dumb.
No, I'm just kidding. What was the other one? Destiny 2. And I went back to Skyrim.
The Destining.
Yeah, well, we've had a lot of time between recording sessions, so I've had a lot of opportunities to play a bunch of different games. I have a lot to say about all of them. I already said everything about Kenshi.
Destiny. You were talking about Destiny 2 the other day when I left.
I had a lot to say about Destiny 2. Yeah, Kenshi's still cool. I got my hemp farm up and running. It's great. I'm making money. It's cool. That game is. I get bored of that game sometimes though because I'm in like the city management zone and it's like really it's tough to stay like super invested in just micromanaging a small settlement because it gets kind of tedious. So that is what it is. But I also started playing Destiny 2 because it's free on Steam for some reason. And that fucking game is... I started playing it and my thoughts were like, okay, they couldn't just have a stick throwing dots at a target in blank empty space. So they created a really beautiful world around all of that. The story, there has to be either something... I never played the first one because...
There's no story in the first... There's no story in the first one. I've played the first one, not to completion, but there's barely any story.
Yeah, this is like... Now, I want to preface this by saying I'm not complaining about this at all. I've said before I'm a big story guy. I like the stories of games, but I also like to just jump in and do shit. This game that's what I'm trying to say is like this game is just a shooter. That's all it is. It's a shoot and loot. Like that's literally all it is.
It's a game that gives you an excuse to like go in this cool world and shoot stuff and get cool armor and cool weapons.
There's lots of really pretty environments. The environments are really cool. The levels are pretty fun. They're really clever with how they do certain things. Like, for example, I'll find myself doing a map and be like, this is familiar, and realize that they're like borrowing assets from another map, or like I've done the map before on single player, but as a single player thing, they gave me a tank and I went through an entirely different path. Like I went through this whole space station and came out underneath this spaceship. And I was like, I'm looking around, killing all the bad guys, and I'm like, holy shit. I was under the spaceship like this morning when I was playing earlier before like work and stuff. Like I was going through here in a tank, blowing up all the engines. Now I'm like going into so that I think is really fun. I really like that they do that. But honestly, it is legitimately just like, hey, do you want to run around in a sci-fi world and shoot shit? There's like the exposition they give is meaningless because they reference things I don't know. That's
the first game is they reference things that they don't explain. And then it's like you have to go to the outside. Yeah.
Stop. Look, it's a Vex Milk waterfall. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, it's like they have all this external material you can go read.
Okay, that's
not,
what you're telling me.
That's not fun though.
No, see,
if it's not in the game, then
so here's the thing. When I started it, I was like, oh, is this kind of like Dark Souls where you can get a lot of the like, you know, the fluff and extra like story and stuff through just like reading item descriptions? No. The item descriptions are just like random bits of poetry. Like they're always quoting it's like a fucking Magic card. Have you ever played Magic?
No.
So on a lot of Magic cards, they'll have a quote from like a wizard or something.
We've talked about Magic.
We talked about it in the first one as like a joke. Like if it would be funny if we were to play Magic and record it, but like not speak.
Yeah, we weren't talking. You just heard
it's just the sound of the cards going. Or no, it was Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yes.
But on Magic cards, they'll have like, you know, for example, Two-Headed Zombie. This is one of my favorite cards because of the quote. They're quoting a necromancer who you could probably find him in some lore book somewhere for Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like they just make them up on the spot though. And the guy just says it's about the two-headed zombie. It's best if you use... I found it's best to use angel hair to stitch them together. That way they don't fight each other. Whatever, necromancer. That's the name of the guns and shit in Destiny. It's just random quote, random person that I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I don't mind RPGs that do that, like something like Skyrim, where where like you're in Skyrim and you don't really know that much about the world, but they give you
learn a lot from it.
You learn a lot from exploring, but if you also want to learn more,
if you just follow the main quest, you learn a bunch of shit.
There's a shit ton of books. I was just saying there's a shit ton of books you can read and like external material.
When I was a kid, I used to read those. I read so many.
Have you ever seen do you know Brian David Gilbert?
No.
He's a YouTuber.
I don't know anybody.
Brian David Gilbert, he's a YouTuber. He's on he had his own channel, but now he's part of Polygon.
Okay.
And he has like a series where he like does these weird things with video games. because he loves video games. And one of the things that he did was he was like, the video is called "Should You Read Every Book in Skyrim?" And he read all the books. Are lame. Yeah, he read all of them.
They're very short.
He read like all 500 something books that are in the game, and like or like 300 something books, whatever. No, actually, it's probably, I don't remember how many there were, but there were a lot of books. And and he just like separated them into like, here's the history books, here's the fact ones, here's the like the poetry, there's
some goofy ones.
Yeah, he was like, and then he's like, here are my top 5 like good fiction books.
Dude, there's a straight up smut novel in there. The Lusty Argonian.
Yes. He's like, I
read that.
He was like, funny. You do not, he's like, you have no idea how bad I want to do like a stage play of this, like so bad. And at the end of the video, they read a little bit. They read a little bit of it, like at the end. Funny. He's a really funny YouTuber. He's awesome. He had one that was like, he had one where it was which Mortal Kombat characters are the best cuddlers?
Oh, okay.
My favorite one that he did was his most recent one, which was I'll let you get back to your thing, but it was he cooks all of the food in
Breath of the Wild.
Yes, in Breath of the Wild, and he only uses the ingredients that are in the game, and he uses like a wok and stuff.
Okay.
For some of the stuff, he's like, I have to cook it normally because I will get food poisoning if I don't cook this properly.
Oh.
But it's so funny. And then they like. It's him and this other dude, and they're like rating it.
Real life.
Yeah, in real life, they're cooking it.
I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah, in real life, they're cooking all the food, and it's like super funny. So they're like, some of it turns out actually really good, but most of it, it's like terrible because they're cooking it in the way that he has to cook it in the game, and they only had the kitchen that they were in for a certain amount of time. Okay, and then like they were saying, like, we have 40 dishes left, and we have 2 hours left in this kitchen. So then they had to like rush some of the dishes. So then some of them came out even worse because they had to like rush the dishes.
Kitchen? Why were they just?
Because it was like a kitchen that they like rented out. It was like a professional. It was like a set kitchen, you know, like it was like a professional kitchen you could like film in. It was
see.
It was like for their sister site or whatever. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, they only had it for a certain amount of time, which made it even funnier because then they had to like hurry up. I'm sorry, but keep going with...
No, dude, I lost my train of thought, but, my
fault.
Here's what it is. No, I remember. I like robots. Whenever I can be a robot character, I love it. And the EXO are robot people, so super in. It is, in my opinion, a very fun game. I like the PvE. I like the PvP. I really like the Gambit thing where basically... It's 8 guardians. It's 8 players, and it's like 4v4, and you're each trying to defeat enemies and get motes to summon a primeval and defeat it before the other team can. And you can like jump into their world and kill them, or to heal their primeval, or you can send blockers to prevent them from depositing their motes. I really fucking love that. that is like that game mode is really fun to play. But I'm playing it and I'm like, this is I could so easily get bored of this because it is literally the same shit over and over again.
Yeah.
Just in different environments.
That's the thing with Destiny is like it feels like a really well-crafted game you would buy on the PlayStation Store. Like,
but it honestly,
doesn't like I bought the first Destiny for like $5 like after it came out, and I was like, for $5 this game is great. This is not a good.
No, like, I mean hardware.
This is like a good $30 game.
Yeah, like the software and stuff is all there. Like it's a very like they've done a lot with like, you know, it looks beautiful. It handles like it is fun to play. The second one, what I like about it is like you always feel like you're making progress, even once you hit like, you know, you start to get like higher up in the power levels and you start to get further along the seasons, like. You still always feel like you're making like some games like this, like what this feels like to me is less like a I thought of it as like Borderlands. It's almost more like WoW. Like it's like a MMO almost, where like you have a hub world and you can like jump around and meet people, but you can jump into instances with people and do stuff. But yeah, there's like the story is not important at all, which I think is funny, and it's like. It's just like this weird packaged shooter where you just shoot and loot and just do that over and over again. God, there was something I was just about to say and I totally forgot what it was.
The RNG loot is...
I don't know what it was like in the first one, but I'm a fan of it in this one. Like I always am getting cool items and I'm always like getting stuff. But yeah, that was it. It's just like, that's all I have to say about that one is I don't know, it just feels like this weird, it's very open. It's also very closed off. Like it's very easy to get into matches with people and you run into people on an overworld map. But like beyond that, you don't really interact with people. You don't have to interact with people. There's very little like interaction in general. Like, I don't know. It's just run and shoot. Like you don't really have to strategize. What bothers me about it is I wish I could like spec into things. Like I don't like that I can just kind of play whatever class, however I want. I really like when I, pick talents and like try different, make new characters and try, that was one thing I loved about World of Warcraft was like, okay, I'll make an elemental shaman, and see what that's like. And it's like, you spec your guy the right way and you do like a shitload of damage or, you become an enhancement shaman or whatever, but by the end of that, you feel like you've really built your guy up. You don't get that with Destiny, which is a real shame to me. I love like when people have like a really, really, really specific way to play a game, a character, which brings me to another thing. Arcade Unlimited now, I think it is, or Arcade Unchained or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. You may not know this. Arcade is one of my favorite games ever. I'd never play it. It went free to play when I came back to the US from Switzerland. It went for free to play in the US, but there was a pay to play system in it where, you got certain benefits. They made it free. I really want to go back to that because in terms of spec, or not free, but you it's a one-time subscription fee or whatever. So you don't have to pay monthly. You pay once and then you own it and then you can play with all the benefits of every other player. That game is fucking rad. Combat, like I said about speccing, you can pick 3 classes and create your own class with attributes from each of those classes. And you could make like these crazy builds. I had this AoE cultist and all I did was AoE damage. And I would just like throw myself into a pile of enemies and just explode. And it was fucking awesome. So I love shit like that. But I mentioned Skyrim earlier. I'm just going on like a game rant.
I think I mentioned Skyrim earlier, but...
Well, okay. Well, Skyrim...
Whatever, it doesn't really matter, but I also want my full credit. So.
All right, hat guy.
Just a little disappointed.
This guy got a new fucking hat, and he thinks he's like king of the world over here.
I'm fucking...
Big hat.
Harrison Ford.
Big hat master.
It's the entrance to the Lost Ark.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, Harry.
Harry.
What was I going to say? Oh, dude, I had a crazy experience on Tuesday/yesterday.
Okay.
Not actually crazy. So between paperwork for the play I'm working on and downloads, Tuesday I installed Ultimate Skyrim on my computer, which is essentially, it's like a mod package. Automated modding is becoming like this cool new thing, which I fucking love. Some mod authors hate it. But basically, you know about like modding and stuff. Yeah. Skyrim, all the Elder Scrolls games are great to mod. I remember when like Morrowind came out and Oblivion came out, like when we modded those games, you can go back and play fucking Morrowind and Oblivion. I honestly, I'm not going to lie, they're like $10 on Steam. Go buy Morrowind and do like a fully modified version of it. Like it takes some doing. But there are some automated modification tools out there, like with Mod Organizer and stuff that you can use, like, or Automaton is the one that I used. Or there's also Wabbajack is really good. Wabbajack is like brand new and it's really good, but you have to have a Nexon Premium account. That's the only. But I'll get into that in a second. But if you play modified Oblivion or Morrowind, it's fucking awesome because all the mods are done. They're done being updated. They're in their final state, so there's like no, like very little crash issues. Everything is good to go. So like this is the best time, even though those games are really fucking old. You can make them look brand new and they feel way cooler. I got Ultimate Skyrim because I didn't want to do the Webjack install. These automatic installers, they require you to have a Nexus Premium account. The Nexus mod website. It's a website that hosts a bunch of mods. Most of the mods, pretty much a lot of mod authors put their mods on the Nexus, unless they're really adult themed, and then they go to Lover's Lab. If you want like giant cocks in your game. Dude,
don't we all?
Some mod I had a while ago in some mod pack had it so when your characters got naked, they had like big flaccid penises. It was really funny. I love and hate shit like that. I love when I have it by accident because like I said, the way the mod packs work is you have to get every single mod because a lot of them are dependent on each other. You could probably skip the body mods then. Now that I think about it, I doubt any of them. Well, unless there's like a
wait. So what's your crazy experience?
Anyway, yeah, this is what it is. So I downloaded a million fucking mods, and it took me all day long. And then I installed them into my computer, and I made Skyrim into a totally different game, and it's fucking awesome.
What do you mean?
So what I was trying to come around to say is basically automatic installers. They're like this like newish. They're not new. They've been around forever, but I'm seeing more of them right now, I guess, because Wabbajack just came out. And essentially what it does is if you have a Nexus Premium account, which it's not the people that made Wabbajack, it's the Nexus. The Nexus owns the servers, and if you use Wabbajack, you download like 300 mods at once. So that's a huge amount of, it's very expensive to run those servers and then allow people to download all of that data. So it's not the Nexus Premium account is for the Nexus. You wouldn't, whatever. The point I'm trying to make is there seems to be a weird discrepancy between people thinking that like Wabbajack wants the money, but really it's just the service that hosts the mods. They can't afford to let you download that much information without getting something out of you. It's just fair is fair. But basically, if you do it right, it's automated. It downloads all the mods for you, installs them into the game, and it's just a million mods that modify like every aspect of the game into like a totally different experience. And the reason I didn't use the Wabbajack and I used this automaton one for Ultimate Skyrim is because it was a lot easier to do manually because I didn't want to pay for the subscription fee. So I had to download them all individually, and it took all fucking day. That was a crazy experience as I was like bouncing between work for Shiv because like I download like 5 mods at once and just wait. It would take like half an hour. And then I'd do stuff for half an hour. I go back for 2 minutes, download, come back, work on stuff. It took me all day. I did all the shit correctly for it. I downloaded and installed Automaton, which once I had all the mods in the right folder, it just grabbed all the mods and installed them. I had the Skyrim Special Edition installed, not Skyrim. And that's not supported. I spent like 4 hours trying to figure out why the fuck won't this work.
Oh my god.
And then I typed in their Discord. I hope one of them listens to this. It'd be fucking great. This guy helped me out twice during this installation process. They have a Discord channel with a support line, and you can text it, you can type into it, and you'll get a response generally within like at least 10 minutes, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I love, and none of these people are being paid to do this, by the way. It's all completely free. Like they're on their free time, which is rad. So I type in there a legitimate question, and he helped me. And then I typed in, I'm getting this weird error. I can't find the Skyrim like file path. And he goes, yeah, that generally happens when people try to use the special edition, parentheses, which is not supported, close parentheses. It's like, fuck me in the ass. But here's the deal. The tutorial sucks for Ultimate Skyrim installation. They leave out so many steps. And the guy has links to videos he put up 3 years ago on how to do this. That way of doing it is out of date. Mm-hmm. And I had to learn this on my own while doing it. And I was like jumping between all these videos on how to do it. I'm like, all of these videos say different things on how to do it. Like whenever I do mod installations, whenever I do anything, I like to cross-reference my research to make sure I'm doing things correctly. So that's what I was doing all night the other night. And I was just like, rather than getting congruent information, I kept getting discrepancies. And I was like, none of these things are saying the same thing. And I ended up doing like a million things on my computer. Not my computer, but like my Skyrim folder. Point is, I got it working and it's fucking kick-ass. And that's about it. I find it funny that like I own this game and then I put so much time and effort into not playing it, but like modifying it to play it for a little bit. And it's just like this, I don't know. It's just funny. But that was the crazy experience was I just spent like an entire day downloading mods and then an entire evening trying to install them. And then I only played for like, I don't know, like an hour or two. But like not even all at once. Like intermittently between like other shit. I like during my evening I was doing stuff. But that was my other gaming piece, was modifying Skyrim and turning into like, I got a Ultimate Skyrim is really like hardcore RPG, and so the game is like a lot more difficult. Enemies do more damage. I do. It's really interesting the way the damage system works. You can alter it in the Requiem mods. Dude, I don't know. I have like 200 mods on my computer right now, and it's really hard to remember all of them because all of them are different and interact with each other. The point I'm trying to make is modifying games is fucking awesome because that game is super old. Mm-hmm. And now it's like I'm playing a new game entirely because like graphically it's way better. It runs a lot smoother. There's way more just in like I have tavern games to play. Like that shit wasn't in the original game. Like if you go to the tavern, you can play like dice with people. I don't know. There's just a lot to it now. And it's fucking rad.
Sounds sick.
I definitely try Ultimate Skyrim out if you can. If you don't mind paying $4 a month, you only really have to pay it for it once. Like if you get the premium account for 1 month, you can do all the downloads and then not continue the subscription and just have all the things. But if they update, you'll either have to manually update or re-up your subscription, which, you know, whatever. But anyway, that's my gaming spiel. I was just really excited about that.
Yeah. I haven't played any game. The game I started playing again was BioShock Infinite.
Oh, my friend Ian really likes that game.
It's a fun game. It's kind of reminds me of what you were saying with Destiny, which is like, it's just a shooter. Like, there's a story there, and I will say it's more coherent than Destiny, where it's like, it's very clear what's going on, and it's mostly
you can get cutscenes out of order in Destiny.
Yeah.
To the point where I'm like, I saw plot points that were way far ahead, and then I did a quest, and I was like, oh, I was supposed to do this mission like the moment I got here, whatever.
Yeah. And most of the story is really told through the visuals in the world. Like you exploring is like telling the story. Like you get all the information you need from. And I will say that the tutorial level of the game is like genius, where you don't even pick up a weapon for like a little bit because like basically you're like going through like a carnival. And there's like carnival games with like guns, and if you play the gun, you shoot it. So it's like kind of teaching you how to use the guns.
That's awesome.
Never played the game. There's these things in the game called I forget
skyhooks or whatever.
There's the skyhook. You don't use one, but you see a cop holding one, and it's cool. The cool skyhook, because it takes place in like 40s America or 30s America, whatever.
Yeah. It's like a weird.
It's like a weird dystopian future world, but I forget what they're called, but they're like these elixir things, and they give you powers. And like people keep offering you.
That's always the thing in those games.
Yeah, people keep offering you them in the game, and like you drink them, and you pick up bread and money and like health, and it's neat. It teaches you a lot about the game without having like you're just kind of this dude walking through this weird town. But I will say that the game does get weird. It's in that weird like meta area where
this is what I've heard.
Where it's like very like meta and surreal, and like you have an AD on your hand and you walk into the town and it says, beware the person with the AD on their hand, they're the false prophet, they're the false shepherd, and you're like, what? And then like have you like it gets really weird and meta, and then it like plays with time, and there's people who are following you around, and I think they're time travelers, but not. It's a very strange, surreal story. But it's a fun shooter. It's really fun. It's fun to shoot people in this strange world, in this fun world. It's like
that's Destiny.
And it's Destiny. It's fun to shoot people in this strange world.
They give you 1,000,000 different guns to use. Well, not really. They give you different variations of themes, and then
it's more of it's like with BioShock. It's more of just like it's more of like a visual experience than it is a storytelling experience where you're playing as this person going through this really detailed and interesting world. Like it's a very interesting world. It's like the city in the sky. It's the exact opposite of the city in the like
I've never played the game, and I already have a theory on what's going on.
You gotta like you have to play the whole game because the ending.
I own it somewhere.
The ending is insane.
Yeah,
it's like I was like, what the fuck? Like it's so. It's either really stupid or it's really genius. I think it's kind of like. It's kind of weird, but I might finish it. It's fun, but I don't know. I started Last of Us, then I stopped, and then I started Infamous, and then I stopped, and then I started Spider-Man again. Then
you were
stopped.
talking about Infamous last time and how much fun you were having.
It's fun, and then I was like, this is boring. And it's kind of boring.
No! See, that's what I was worried about with Skyrim. Because I played that game to death like years ago.
Yeah, when it first came out, I played a lot of it.
Yeah, well, because I said earlier, I read all the books, and it was Oblivion that I read. I didn't read them all, but I read a lot of the books in Oblivion just because I was a kid and it was summer and I had a shitload of time on my hands.
Yeah.
And rather than go outside and play soccer, I would like sit inside and like, just be in that world for hours, which is awesome. But, no, dude, video games are awesome.
I love video games. Video games are the best.
That's all. Video games are awesome. Dungeons and Dragons is awesome. I mentioned first episode my apprehension about the D&D campaign. Dude, couldn't be happier. It's so fucking cool and fun.
It's awesome.
It's a really good group of folks. Ian's friends. I mean, Ian's a really cool dude. He attracts cool people. His friends are really nice and good, and it's just a good fun group. We're a wild bunch of fucking maniacs. Like everybody, we have a wizard who's pretty level-headed. I play a really out of touch wild elf druid who's super old and Circle of the Moon. And we have a 15-year-old sorcerer who's like super deadly and he's crazy. And then a ranger who's really quiet and a warrior or a fighter who's like just not super bright. But I fucking love him.
That's amazing.
And a cleric who's like leading us along. He's also the DM. DM's got like circuit character in there. He's a cleric. Good shit. I don't know. We blew up a fucking ship. They had like some like Dragonfire type stuff on there, like Game of Thrones style. The sorcerer, the wizard gave him haste or something, and he jumped up and did I forget the name of the spell, but he was able to jump onto because we were on a boat, and we had a boat, and then the enemy had a boat, and he jumped onto their boat using one of his cantrips or whatever, spell or something. And before he landed, he casted Fireball, and the energy of that blasted him backward onto the ship, back onto our ship. But that ship had a bunch of this like super flammable chemical on it, and the DM was like, yeah, so there's a huge explosion, and there's just, the ship is gone. There's just literally nothing there. It was wiped from existence. Yeah. You see ash. We were like, holy shit. It was like he had this really big encounter planned out, and we just completely evaded it. It's insane. It's a really good party. It's wacky. And whenever we get into combat, it just escalates to this like insane explosion of insanity, and it's awesome.
It's awesome.
I turn into a bear, the fighter goes wild, and the wizard and the sorcerer just... Sorcerer's... he's my favorite. He just explodes. Anyway, that's a D&D update. Maybe I could talk about that more in another one. I'm sure people don't give a shit, though. It's my own personal campaign with friends.
Oh, shit. I just hit the table.
No,
I just hit the table.
Oops. I'm running out of steam. I'm
running out of steam.
Yeah, my magical... things are doing their work, so I think it's time. And I've been talking about video games for the past like 20 minutes. So what do you think, Derek?
I'm ready to I say we call it quits.
To tie a ribbon over this.
I'm fucking sleepy.
You're sleepy.
I'm fucking sleepy.
All right. This has been Sir Kitten Paws.
This is Derek Mola. This has been
Yawn Master.
This has been shitty. This has been Little Pepito.
Little Pepito.
Pepito means nugget. That's what Haley's been calling me. She's like, "You're my little Pepito."
That's funny.
So I'm Little Pepito. That's my rapper name. Actually, my rapper name is Master Scrappy.
Master Scrappy.
Because that's what if you type in Derek Mola in the Wu-Tang Clan name generator,
it comes up with Master Scrappy.
Master Scrappy. Well, it changes every time, but that's one that I got.
I'm the Krusty Cheez-It.
Crusty Cheez-It, because there's one on his desk. Good night.
I didn't put that there, by the way.